TJ, and this is Nativerezmedia, your place for opinionated tech news, reviews, and entertainment. And today we'll be taking a look at the Simsonn pedals here that I purchased from AliExpress. These are some, I guess, mid-grade, mid-range pro pedals that you can purchase direct from China to use with your sim racing rigs. And I will be, I guess, kind of comparing them with my Moza SRP pedals here. I only have the brake and the clutch. I probably won't be keeping these because I have these, of course. I'm not going to go over any unboxing or anything like that. I'm just going to be going over the pedals themselves a little bit and showing off a little bit on my rig there behind me and showing some video of that. But first, we're just going to start off here by going over the pedals. So I only have the brake and the throttle with me right now. The clutch is on the rig there, but I wanted to make it a fair fight here. But basically, the Moza set here cost $160. I think, yeah, you can get it from $150 to $160 depending on where and when, just for throttle, brake. This set costs there's a range as well. So if you want just the throttle and the brake, you probably can get it for $150 to $175. And if you throw in throttle, brake, and clutch, then you're looking at $220 to $240 all up for these. But I would say this is a better bang for your buck, and I'm going to kind of explain why within the next 2 to 3 minutes here. So first of all, you can look at them and tell. You get more hardware here. This is the brake. This one has the damper installed here on the bottom here with the brake. You got your 3 elastomers and a spring. And you get a box. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. Drop my phone there. But you get a box. It's a programmable, well, not programmable box, but this is the box that you get with the Simsonn pedals that you can ground onto your rig. You plug them all in. You have brake, clutch, or handbrake, clutch, brakes, throttle, shifter, and H shifter, which if you have an H pattern shifter, you can plug in. Well, you can't even plug that. It's not even, it's on here, but it's not, there's no slot for it. So, and most H pattern shifters can directly connect to the computer, so that's probably why. But that's the little box that you get with here. You would get with this one, and you probably would double side sticky tape or Velcro this to your rig somewhere. And this, like I said, has a load cell on the back here, and it's a 130 kilogram load cell that is on the brake. The throttle has a load cell. I think it's a 20 kilogram load cell on the throttle. Yep. And it does have a damper as well, along with your throttle spring. Decent amount of resistance. And I'm going to tinker with these a little bit and modify them to make them feel a little bit better for me. Out the box throttle on here, a little tough. Obviously, you have multiple areas of adjustment in order to make this a little bit more tolerable. Let me get a little closer here. You can adjust your end stop on your throttle and brake. It has it in the same place. You can adjust the spring preload on here by twisting this little screw here, and same on the brake. You can change out the elastomers. You can change out the springs on the brakes. On the throttle, you can adjust the damper where it is tightened on here on the bottom, up or down, to create more leverage or take away some leverage. Same with the spring if you want to make it lighter. And there's a bunch of other things you can do as well to these in order to make them lighter. Of course, change out the springs altogether. It never ends. All right, so that's that. And obviously you can mount these directly to your pedal plate, or whatever you need to do in order to get these mounted up to your rig. And that's that. Now, comparing these to the Moza SRP pedals, you have the base plate that this comes with that you mount to from the bottom here. And you can see they have rubber mats on the bottom. So if you wanted to try to use these on the floor, you could, but you basically can't for the most part. Because yeah, this does have a load cell as well. I don't know what this, I think this is a 100 kilogram load cell. I'm not sure what the load cell, maybe it's 75 on the SRP, but I honestly can and can't tell the difference between load cells and Hall sensors and potentiometers. For the most part, I'm not that good of a driver, so if I was good, then maybe it makes a difference. I'm sure it does because everybody raves about load cells, but whatever. They're basically the best on brakes. Having a load cell on the throttle and the clutch doesn't make a big difference. But anyways, the reason why I would choose this set over the SRPs is because of adjustability. Throttle being one thing. As you can see, there is a little spring in here, one of those little springs down here where it just kind of just flips it back up. Nice tension on here. It doesn't feel bad, but for, you know, if you get the clutch on here, you're paying $200 for this whole set, $210 or whatever. This one's $220 to $240 for this, depending on where and when you purchase it. Of course, you can get discounts. It's just hands down, this is going to be the better set to get when it comes to that. And then you don't have any adjustability other than that. You can probably put a spring on here. Maybe you can go in and tinker with that to try to make it lighter or tougher if you need to. But it's just a little bit harder to do than on the Simsonn pedals there. And then on the brake, you have an elastomer here and a spring. There's a lot more travel, which you can, I believe, adjust the travel. And yeah, you can adjust the travel with this screw. You can put a stop to it and make it less travel-y. But I mean, overall, it's just not going to be better. You can come in here, probably change out this, change out that spring, and you can get it feeling better. But this is hands down just going to be easier to adjust, to get in there, unscrew a couple bolts, pop this out, pop a spring in there. And they make so many different sets of elastomers and springs for pedals like these that if you go on eBay, Amazon, you can order a few and just, you know, play around to your heart's content. But with this, there's only like one set you can buy that changes these in and out. If you're going to have to do a lot of DIY with this to make it work, where even if you DIY with this, it's just going to be easier because it's just washers and like little shims and stuff. That's it. But yeah, overall, I mean, the adjustability on this is just hands down better than the Moza SRP pedals. Not talking shit about Moza, pardon my French, but yeah, I have a Moza steering wheel. I have a Moza bass. I got the Moza pedals because I was just like, well, you know what? I'm going to stay in the ecosystem, but looking around and seeing these for the same price, maybe a little bit more, and getting a completely better set, you just can't beat it. All right, enough about me talking about the pedals. I'm going to go over to the rig. I'm going to mod these up a little bit, so we'll be a little bit in the future. But yeah, once I get done doing that, I'll be back, but on the rig. All right, guys, I am here in Spa in the 720S GT3 car, just doing a couple of test laps or practice laps. I just wanted to talk a little bit about my rig. Basically, I wanted to go from the pedals to the steering base and talk a little bit about the seat and the rig itself. I will, if you guys like, do individual reviews or overviews of each item and speak a little bit more on it, but I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. So we're going to start with the pedals. The pedals are the Simsonn, pedals from AliExpress. Let me turn my headphones down a little bit. I purchased these for around $200 or so, not too expensive. I got them on the Black Friday sale, which even without the sale, they're fairly inexpensive, and they're comparable to the SimJack Pro pedals. They're a little bit cheaper than those, and I would, you know, compare these to much more expensive pedals. I don't want to mention any of those names because they're not copies one for one, but you know, obviously looking at them, you can tell they based the build on some of those, which, you know, it is what it is. Now, I bought these pedals because my current pedals are the Moza SRPs, and I purchased those from Micro Center along with the Moza CS steering wheel and the R12 base here. It's, you know, it just was the the throttle and the brake, and the brake has a load cell, but it doesn't have a whole bunch of modability to the throttle or anything. And all up, if I want to get a clutch, I'm paying $200 for that set. And I was like, well, why pay $200 for that when I can pay $200 for this? And you can adjust the heck out of these. I mean, new springs, adjust the dampers that that I purchased with them, which were only an extra like $5 or $6 each. And these do have some kind of either air or hydraulic dampening on the pedals. So I even took out the spring. The throttle pedal comes with a spring. I don't really need it because the shock dampener that's on there gives me the perfect amount of resistance, and it feels like a real throttle in a car. The brake, I had to adjust it a little bit. Out of the box, the brake, to me, it was a little bit stiff. Not horrible, but I was like, yeah, I can make it feel a little bit better. So took a trip to Home Depot, spent $5 on like a spring set that they sell. I forgot what spring set it is. If I remember, I'll put it up on the screen. But one of the springs was a lighter one and the other one was a heavier one, like a 45 or 46 pound spring. And I used both of them. As you see, the lighter one compresses first when I step on the brake, just like you would feel when you are in a car. And the heavier one, I replaced the elastomer that was in there with the heavier one. It's a little bit lighter than my elastomer, so it gives a little bit more of a progressive feel as I press on the brake. I kind of modeled it after my daily driver, which is a Mustang. And so I sat in my Mustang for 15-20 minutes just playing with the brake a little bit, stomping on it and trying to see how it feels, and this with the engine running and things like that. And I was just like, I can kind of replicate this feel, and that's basically what I've done now. Yes, it's not a race car, it's a sports car, and it's not a high performance one at that. It's okay, but it's better than the Moza pedals. The clutch feels good as well, even though I don't have a shifter, which I ordered a shifter from eBay as well, waiting for that to get here, and I will do a review on that as well. It feels good. If I step on the clutch, it works in the game here, but I don't have my shifter installed. But yeah, the clutch feels good. I've got a decent amount of resistance set for that, but most people want to know how the brake feels, and yes, it feels good. Like I said, out of the box, a little tough, but you can mod this. There's so many elastomers that you can buy on Amazon. It's just in different springs. So this is a much better buy, I would say, than going with the Moza SRPs. And then also the software that comes with the Simsonn ones, it's I guess in-house or proprietary or something to them, or proprietary. They have their own software that's a lot better than some of the software that you might see coming with the sim jacks, like the DI view that you have to use. So it's a lot easier to calibrate these pedals. I'm going to quickly go over, of course, the rig real quick, and I'll do an overview of this again in a whole different video. But the rig costs all upwards of about $270, maybe, I think. And that's with the seat. That is the whole metal rig here with the seat. This seat I got from Amazon for steel. It was like $97 shipped to my door. Well, taxes, of course, was maybe $8-9. So I got the seat, and then I got this rig for $130 from eBay. It goes by different brands: Supooler, Hot Boy, I don't know what it is, or Marauder. You just go in there and you'll see it. I was going to get the Conquer. It was like $280 something for the Conquer rig with a seat, but the seat wasn't like this. It was like a thinner seat. So I was like, I'm gonna go with a rig and just purchase a seat, and I found this one on Amazon for the low. This seat reclines. It came with the adjustment rail under the bottom, so I was like, oh yeah, definitely gonna get that. And it's comfortable. It's a good size, got some nice bolstering in it, nice amount of cushion. It's sturdy, so if I step on the brake, you know, it's gonna support me. All up, I don't get why people go out and spend thousands of dollars on a rig, but I do get it at the same time. I just wouldn't do it. You know, I'm not obviously some professional sim racer. I just do it for the fun, to do some hot laps, race AI. I intend on doing a little bit of online stuff. I obviously race in VR with the Quest 3 here. This is probably hands down one of the most cost-effective and best experiences I've had racing in VR. I had the Quest 2, it was good, but the lenses in the Quest 3 is just so much better. My computer, obviously you have to have a decent computer. I run a 3080 with a 5800X, so yeah, I mean, obviously I spent a little bit of money on my computer about a year, 2 years ago. I don't know how long ago I put that thing together, but it's decent. So I don't have a light rig. Never to say I can't even speak right now. I don't have, my rig is decent, my computer rig. So yeah, all up, you know, if you're looking to get into sim racing and you want to spin once and don't have to spend that much the first time, I think this would be a good mid-range setup for most people that are looking to spend about $1,200, but that's not including the PC, of course. You can get a laptop if you like and run your VR if you get something that's at least has a 4070, I would say, and you do good with that. But I don't know. I personally am a desktop person. I have a laptop with a 4070 Ti or 3070 Ti, but maybe I'll try it out and test it, and someone can see if they like that. But this, desktop PC is going to be probably a little bit cheaper. I would say all up, after you build your PC and have this rig build like this, you probably spend $2,500, $3,000 on the high end, which in the grand scheme of things, it's a lot, but if you do this a lot, it's worth it. Some people go spend $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 on a mini buggy or a go-kart or a side-by-side, so I would figure this is kind of like equivalent to that, but you don't have to deal with the weather. But other than that, yeah, if you have any questions, please leave comments down below. I will be going over everything here in the near future. I don't really review gaming or sim stuff that much other than headphones for the most part, but I plan on venturing out. I am in a new location. I've moved back to my home state for a while here and for work, and that's why I haven't been posting as much, but I do intend on doing some more reviews. I got some reviews coming up here soon over the next couple of days. With that being said, I'll let you all go. Thank you for tuning in. I am TJ, and this is Nativerezmedia. Peace.